Now, in my last video, I made this really cute little concertina book, and I thought it'd be fun this week just to share some ideas of how you could fill your little book. Now, to make it easy for you to follow along, I have actually provided this free 3-page digital that's available to download from my website. You'll find all the details in the description below this video. Now, I feel like I'm going to need some rusty paper clips for this project, and the quickest and easiest way I've found to rust paper clips is just to use some rust effect paint. Now, you really do want to do this outside. Now I'm just going to put them out to dry, and then I'll just give them a second coat. Now I'm just going to spread them out a bit. Now it's almost 40 degrees here in the UK at the moment, so I'm not expecting them to take too long to dry. Now if you're looking for a vintage feel, you can see here the difference the rusty paper clips make. I've added a paper clip that I haven't rusted just so you can see the difference. And now to start creating some things to actually go into my little notebook. Now I'm going to start with this beautiful photo frame. Now I'm not going to worry too much about cutting it out perfectly. Obviously I want to try my best, but it's not really going to matter because I'm going to really rough this up in a minute. So there we go, I'm almost finished. I think this is going to look great. Now I'm going to need to cut out the shape in the middle. And the easiest way I've found to do this is to start by making a hole, either with a crocodile or with a hole punch. And that gives you like a starting point for your scissors. Now it is rather fiddly, so you might rather use a craft knife or a scalpel for this. However, as I'm going for a slightly vintage shabby look, it really doesn't matter. Now I do plan to ink the inside edges later just to try and hide some of the imperfections. I'm just about finished. There we go. Now you will notice that this isn't that accurate. Look, you can see, but it'll be fine. This is going to look great over one of the sepia photographs. So now I'm just going to quickly ink the inside edges. I really want to stop this looking quite so pristine, which can be a real problem with digitals. I actually think the key is often just to add some imperfection into things. Now you can just fold along the dotted line, and that'll give you a little flap to help you attach this into your notebook, but I think I'm actually just going to remove that flap. And now I'm going to just use my sanding block, and I'm going to really start aging the edges. Now this really is such an easy way just to age the paper a bit. I do like to bend the corners a bit as well when I'm aging things. Now here you can see it works really, really well over any of these photographs, but I think I'm going to use this one on the end. But I'm just going to age this a little bit more, just a bit more ink around the outside edges. I'm really just slowly building up the different effects just to make it look really old and battered. Now there's really nothing complicated that I'm doing here. And I love how this has turned out. I think it's going to look great in my little book. Now I also want to add some writing space, so I've got this little scrap of lined paper that was actually part of the digital. I'm just going to trim it down to size, but again it looks just a little bit too pristine, and it's also still just a little bit too big, so I'm just going to trim some off the bottom here. So I'm just going to rough it up a bit using my sanding block. I'm now just going to fold the paper a bit and just sand down where I fold. That looks so much better. Now I still don't quite know where I'm going to put everything into this little book, but I'm just going to have fun playing about a bit with different ideas. I'm now just going to ink up this button card. Now I'm just going to attach it into my book using one of the rusty paper clips. Now I think it would be good to use the other button card that comes with this kit, and I think what I'm going to do is just add it to the top of this note paper. I just want it so that it'll poke out the top of the book. There you go, once it's all closed up you'll still see a little bit of it. Because it's a button card, I can't resist just quickly gluing on a little button. And again, just for now, I'm just going to use a rusty paper clip just to attach it into my book. Now I love these fake French invoices that come with the kit, and what I thought they'd be really good for is actually just folding into 3 like this and making them into really cute little envelopes. Now I'm just going to cut a curve along the top, so I'm just going to lightly fold it lengthways so that I just get a bit of a symmetrical curve. How cute is that? Now I'm not actually going to glue it together because I think it would be great if you can just unfold it and write inside, but I'm going to just ink around the edges just to age it a bit. And once again, I'm just going to attach it with a paper clip into my book. I might later go through and glue things in place, but at the moment it's just very much a work in progress. Now I think this stripy envelope will look great behind one of the old photographs. But I'm just going to start just by inking up the edges just to age it a little bit, and then I'm just going to put one of these smaller photographs onto it like so and just put it under a paperclip. Again, I might come back and glue that later. So this is how far I've got so far. It's nowhere near finished, but hopefully it's just given you a few ideas of the sort of thing that you could do. Don't forget to go to the website to download your free digitals. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.